Yes. I saw this party yesterday. I decided I want to change.
Good morning, Honourable Minister and other members of the call. Stanley Azuko Dabigo is my name, Director of Public Relations, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Your Excellency, Honourable Minister, distinguished colleagues, presidents. My name is Dr. Ike Neliaku, President, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, and member of board of Global Alliance. Good to see you again, sir. You haven't changed. This time all the pressure.
Yes, good morning everyone. My name is Ike Karani. I am the President of the African Public Relations Association and also the President of the Public Relations Society of Kenya, and we're very happy to be here.
So morning again, my name is Irene Lungo-Chipili. I'm President of the Zambia Institute of Public Relations and Communications. I'm also the current chair of the Regional Council for Africa for Global Alliance for Public Relations and Communication, where Dr. Ike is also a member. So we appreciate, we understand, Director, as you stated, there's so much happening now, and the Minister has a busy schedule. Fortunately, he is seeing, he's meeting people he's met before. They engaged last with him during the conference held in Mombasa, the last APRA conference. So, Dr. Ike, as introduced, and our President for APRA, Eric, are really here to drum up support and just seek support from Zambia. As you know, Honourable Minister, we announced that this year the African Public Relations Association Conference and the World Public Relations Forum is being held back-to-back in November in Abuja, Nigeria. This is the second time that Africa is hosting the conference. Last was 2009 by South Africa. So we're very excited. For us as an African PR body, this is not Nigeria hosting WPRF, it is Africa hosting WPRF, and we've been supported through and through. So they're just here to engage and to request for support. We are aware that we are going through a very busy period with elections, and if we waited for after elections in August and the cabinet formation, it would be too late for us to start talking about WPRF and Zambia support towards it. So the ministry is here. We would like the ministry director member and team would like to start preparations even as the months progress and not wait for after August. So maybe I'll allow President Eric to give some remarks, and Dr. Ike.
Really shaping narratives. We are looking at the rise of micro and macro influencers. Influencers either in tourism that can help governments communicate, influencers in health, and they're rising. But above all, I think one of the greatest things that we are looking at is organizations are moving from being just passive organizations to being media companies. Think of the ministry, or here, for example, it has its own channel. It's telling its own story. So before that, 10 years ago, it was not easy for you to find a whole organization having their own channel and telling their own story. So for us, this conference is very key because it's helping us to shift from actually just covering stories to engineering the trust as a currency. And it will be very lovely, Honourable Minister, for you to be with us in November from the 15th to the 21st, and for the entire ministry to join in the conversation as we also seek to find African solutions to African problems, and we also find a way of having responsible communication and using it as a voice for Africa to tell its story.
Africa is insisting that we must drive communication influence across the globe. World Public Relations Forum had been held before now only once in Africa. that is a clear case of marginalization of a very important segment of the globe. So this time around, following the hard work of APRA President, the regional chair of World Public Relations Forum for Africa, we got the hosting right. But beyond that, we are doing this as a platform supported by the Africa Public Relations Association. So the host, so to say, is actually Africa. Nigeria is hosting on behalf of Africa. And that's part of what makes it very unique, that the 37th Conference of African Public Relations Association will also be held in Nigeria. So you can see that it's a two-in-one barrel, but all for good. We believe very strongly that this gives us a platform to influence communication from the perspective of Africa. And that's why Zambia has to be on the table, sir. Because if Zambia does not participate effectively when the issues are being discussed, when the stories are being told, it will look as if a very important aspect of Africa is missing. Zambia is free. From what our president, Kenneth Kaunda, told us when he was prophesying, Zambia shall be free. Zambia is now free. We want Zambia in Africa. Finally, sir, we requested His Excellency, the President of Zambia, to be the keynote speaker at the opening ceremony. And we wrote to this effect, and so on. So we'll be very delighted because we're looking for the authentic voices of Africa that will tell the African story in a manner that the international community will understand. Those who are coming from World Public Relations Forum are people who advise presidents, advise large corporations. So what they get out of this will influence what they advise their principals. This is why it's very important. The final thing I want to add, sir, is that the Minister of Information, in partnership with APRA, is hosting Ministerial Roundtable, a roundtable for the Ministers of Information from all over Africa. The Minister of Information of Nigeria decided to take this up, and he's giving all that is required to make sure that we sit in Africa for the African ministers to now look at how do we drive responsible communication for our region. Finally, sir, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has graciously accepted to be the chief host for the World Public Relations Forum, and he will be the person to declare it open as the case may be. So everything is ready. What is missing is to now have the massive support of Zambia in Abuja in November 2026. Thank you very much, sir.
So the President welcomes you to Zambia on behalf of the people of Zambia and wishes you a wonderful stay. And he has instructed me that I should in fact tell you not to rush to go back so that you can sample the hospitality of this, your country. Now, your visit is very important to us because it is coming at a very timely moment that I should indicate here that President HH, in responding to your call in Mombasa, inviting him to the World Public Relations Forum in Abuja, graciously accepted the invitation and was honored and humbled that you could consider him to be a keynote speaker at that particular very important global forum. He doesn't take it lightly. He takes it with a lot of humility that you could consider him in that way, and he was very touched with the African brother and sisterly way in which you considered him fit for the purpose to be an authentic African leader's voice for the people of Africa, so that Africa can speak and be heard by the entire globe. as it should be. So the government of the Republic of Zambia, under the able leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, is committed to continue to support the growth of the public relations and communications sector in this country and therefore on the continent. This is exemplified by this country's move to have the Zambian Public Relations and Communications Institute be legislated at law, and therefore the existence of ZIPRAC is now a recognition and creature of the law. That is to give them the necessary legal identity and ability to expand their mandate. So President Hakainde Hichilema continues to be an ardent supporter of this particular sector in this country.
We are grateful and we'll keep engaging with you in preparation for WPRF to see how best we can prepare as a country for this representation at the global forum. So thank you for making time for us this morning. I appreciate it.
We're grateful.
Do we have the Livingstone?
The Livingstone
For the sake of the public,
so,
media?
yes, and we always rely on the ministry to support us. So this year's ZIPRAC annual conference is taking place from the 8th to the 11th of June in Livingstone. Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
APRA.